everyone! For me and Cafe Nero, no, I am not sponsored by them. I love them. And I love my barista at Cafe Nero, Fabio. We're like this. We are like that right now. So I'm enjoying a latte today. You enjoy whatever it is that you would like to enjoy. Tea, coffee, glass of wine. Just sit back and relax. But I'm not going to do any opera singing for you today, because I am disappointed that you didn't give me more thumbs up from that fabulous performance last week. So this is what you get. Yeah, that's what you get. Why should I go out on a limb when there's no need? No need whatsoever. Cheers! Stay tuned if you're interested in asana today. Maybe I made an asana out of myself, but hey, pretty good at doing it. Give me a thumbs up for that. Thank you. Of course, I'm just kidding. I would always go out on a limb for you guys. As I am, pun intended, going to cover the third limb on the Ashtanga Yoga Path, the Asana limb. And this is probably the limb that we are the most familiar with, and we probably all have an opinion about. So as I was thinking about what I was going to say for this limb, maybe stuff that I haven't said before, I came up with a few things that I think might be of value, because that's what it's about, trying to serve value and shine light on this so that you can try to relate it into your own everyday lives, whether that be on the yoga mat or off the yoga mat. And basically asana, that's the yoga postures or the yoga poses. And we do say asana, a long A, not asanas. But the translation of asana is creating a strong seat. And what does that really mean? There is, of course, many different interpretations of what that might mean, and I would love to hear your interpretation. But my interpretation is that creating a strong seat for yourself is basically becoming so secure within yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you believe, that whatever anyone else around you is saying, it's not really creating too much vrittis or mind waves, right? And this is a huge practice. And you know, when we start to work our way a little further up through this path on the higher limbs, I'm going to talk much more about the vrittis and the brain waves, and you know how that also relates to this limb. But we're here now. But this is, I think, a huge practice for all of us, right? We walk out in the world and we are judged for how we look, how we talk, where we come from, who we are, what we do, and that is just part of life, you know. That's something we just can't change, how we are being judged. But what we can work on is how whether we take it in or whether we choose to leave it out. And I truly believe that the stronger our seat is within ourselves, the better we know ourselves, the more comfortable we are within our discomforts, our imperfections, or what we don't have, the easier it might be to sort of deal with that stuff. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm just thinking and feeling that it's easier. I just wanted to bring up this example that I've been experiencing a lot, you know, here in London, after I moved from New York is oftentimes when I say that I've moved from New York, Londoners will say, "What? You moved from New York to come here?" And it was always sort of funny to me to get that response. But had I not been secure in my decision, or our decision, moving from New York, not having known New York as well as I do, it probably would have been very easy to feel bad from leaving such an amazing city like New York to London. So if you don't feel secure within who you are, then it's very easy to take on other people's opinion about who you are, what you're doing, or maybe what it is that you're lacking, right? If someone said, "You know what, I think that your YouTube channel sucks," being that I've put so much work into it, I know every single angle of it, I would respond saying, "Okay, what about it sucks? Educate me, teach me, let me know your opinion. I want to hear some constructive criticism, not just that it sucks. That doesn't mean anything to me." So to me, that is a strong seat. I don't have that in every single area of my life, but I do try to, when I recognize within myself that I don't have a strong seat, to try to practice creating a strong seat. And my yoga practice, the asana practice on the mat, while integrating the yamas and the niyamas, have helped me a lot, to try to arrive at this place. Also, I think, having gotten older, life experience obviously is part of that too. So that is what creating a strong seat for yourself means to me. Asana, on so many different levels is so beneficial for us. It works every single system of our body, our muscular system, our skeletal system, our organs, just nervous system, just everything. So the asanas are healing, and we can use them, really in whichever way that we want, as long as we are educated about what it is that we're doing. There are many different categories of asana. So we have standing poses, we have seated poses, we have twists, forward bends, backward bends, turning ourselves upside down, relaxation. And every category has a different kind of, impact on us. So the forward bending has to do with surrendering and letting go. The backward bendings have to do with opening ourselves up to the world. The twists have a lot to do with, finding solutions. Turning ourselves upside down has to do with creating a new perspective. The meditation positions obviously have to do with, calming ourselves down and becoming present. And the relaxation positions have to do with, calming down the nervous system and, all that good stuff, all that jazz. So there might be some positions that you are better at and other positions that you are not so good at. And I think that tapas, that discipline, that we talked about last week, comes in a lot, in those yoga positions that you are not so good at, those yoga positions that you don't like so much. And it's very easy to fall into the trap, I think, of, liking a pose and not liking a pose. And that's where we start from. But as we practice, we want to try to move into the center, where there's not like or dislike. It is just what it is. And that's another, huge practice. So if we can practice that, on the yoga mat, lessen the likes and the dislikes, then I think we will be able to practice that off of the yoga mat. Like, I don't like her, I like this, I like that, I will only do this instead of that. So that is also a very interesting aspect of it. I hope that what I've said so far has maybe been a little bit different, maybe a little bit more enlightening when it comes to asana, not just, you know, saying the regular stuff about asana, but sort of taking it to another level, to another perspective. The last thing that I would like to encourage you to do or mention is, now when you are practicing your asanas, try to draw in the yamas and the niyamas, and look at how you are practicing the yamas and the niyamas in your asana practice. It is so easy to oftentimes use asana, I think, as a band-aid. And what I mean by that is, I'll give you an example. Anytime that I drink too much black tea or too many lattes, which I don't drink much lattes because I'm not a big coffee drinker, I'm a huge tea drinker, and I drink. I have been drinking quite a lot of red wine, more than what I'm used to. I definitely feel that my body gets really stiff and tight and uncomfortable in my asana practice when I have a lot of that acidicness. Is that a word? When I feel more acidic in my body. And if I continue that practice of drinking too much tea, coffee, or wine, then I sort of feel like my yoga practice just becomes a band-aid. I am just working to try to release that tightness from all that tea drinking and whatever. So my point is to say that if you notice that what it is that you're participating in, what your lifestyle is doing to you, is not helping your asana practice, then try to look at that and try to notice how you can make some maybe modifications to it. And the yamas and the niyamas come in beautifully there, you know, truthfulness, moderation, purity, you know, the whole discipline and practice, surrender, and that's just very interesting. So the moment that I, you know, decrease on all that acidic stuff, then I notice a huge difference in my body, and then the asanas work in a much better way. I'm not using time just to try to release the tightness or release the toxins in order to get further, but I'm actually just sort of, it feels like I'm just gliding in and going deeper. So that is just something that I have noticed, you know, more and more in my own yoga practice, because we can, the way that we think and foods that we eat, our lifestyle in general will have just a huge impact on our asana practice, and that can be just a great reality check. All right, it's all about those reality checks, right? And we want to be in reality. We want to check ourselves. All right, my lovely Go Flowers, cheers. I hope you're well. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comment box below if any of this resonated with you. I want to hear from you. I want to get a thumbs up. Let me see how many thumbs up I can get this time. Are you listening? Thank you. All right, see you next time. Bye.